It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live at WGPL 1350 Studio, WMVA 88.9 FM Studio, all you have to do is go to Facebook, to Edward Everett's Facebook page, or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page. And guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM, 1350 AM, go to church webcast, click and listen live. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors. Let's welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace 95.3 FM, WPCE 1400 AM, WMVA 88.9 FM. Good morning.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We promise we'll shout you out.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Go to our newest channel that's on YouTube at FYI Radio Show, host Yolanda Hinton. And you can go to Crystal Records 1, CRISTO Records 1. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we promise we'll shout you out.
You promise?
Promise.
Shout out.
All right, Mr. E, this is Fun Friday.
That's right, that's right. Why do ducks cross the street?
I'm not sure, but I tell you what, regardless of how they cross it, we're going to have a good time because we have a very special guest.
That's right.
We have Miss Melissa Sherman, and she's with at Clearwater Management Company, and we want to say good morning. Our topic today is summer pool safety, and she's here to talk to us about that. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning.
It's good to have you on. Thank you for joining us. We're going to tell our audience a little bit about you and a little bit about your Clearwater Management Company.
Melissa founded Clearwater Pool Management in 2008, following year of volunteer work at a Quad facility, operating and earning her pool operation license the same year. She holds accreditation through the American Red Cross, the YMCA, and American Safety and Health Institute. She employed over 200 individuals during a peak season and managing facilities across Yorktown, Newport News, Hampton, Smithfield, Chesapeake, Gloucester, Williamsburg, Tawana. She is a certified, she has certified hundreds of individuals as lifeguards, swimming instructors, CPR, AED, first aid, emergency oxygen, blood-borne pathogen, and lifeguard instruction. And we want to say a pleasant good morning again to Miss Melissa Sherman. Good morning. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
It's so good to have you on. You know, every year we love to talk about, this summer fun, and we always have to get in pool and water safety. Thank you so much for being on. And tell us a little bit about Clearwater and its services.
So pretty much in the bio, it explains everything. I started the company requested in my neighborhood because it had a need in my neighborhood pool. And started just as a need, and then I just kept getting phone calls asking if I would manage their pools, and now it's gone to where we have over, I don't know, 60 pools. We have year-round pools. We do timeshares, hot tubs. We don't do residential. We now only do like commercial, maybe swimming pools and apartments, townhomes, resorts.
Absolutely. That is marvelous. Along with management, there are some things that we want you to talk about, and that is, training and education. It's not, we're going to have fun during the summer, but we've got to be careful to do things right when it comes to swimming, when it comes to water. And we would like for you to talk about some of the things that you have in place when it comes to, training lifeguards or doing other things that can help people to stay alive during this time.
Right. Well, we always encourage the neighborhood pools to make sure that they have a lifeguard on duty when pools open. That's important. Even those who go to the beach, I know some beaches, not the whole beach is covered with, have lifeguard coverage, but you should swim, even though if you're the best swimmer, you can always get into trouble. Should swim where there's a lifeguard. That's most important. Children who are not strong swimmers should wear some kind of Coast Guard approved lifeguard flotation device, whether it's a puddle jumper for the little ones or a full, lifeguard vest. But they always should be marked Coast Guard regulated. And if they do have those on, which means they're not a strong swimmer, they still need to have parental supervision.
Absolutely.
Within arm's reach. Is what we always have, trainer lifeguards, and that's all our roles at our pool.
And you all train children during the summer? Are there classes? How you go about doing that?
We have lifeguards. I train the instructors, and they're all lifeguard certified. And then parents can go up and go in and sign up. I mean, we're not like a YMCA, so you have to be a member of the pool to come. It's a, insurance issue, but so that we have several different pools that we teach at, and they can sign up, and it's for Monday through Thursday, and we use Friday as a rain date to make up a class, but it's Monday through Thursday. We try to keep them with the same instructor, and then they can move along, start at level 1, and we have through level 6. Level 1 starting at just getting comfortable. The primary thing we try to teach the lower ones is survival, like if they fall off a boat or fall in a pool, like even at a neighborhood pool, backyard pool, that they are taught to how to roll over and float on their back until somebody can come in and get help. So it's not necessarily teaching them how to swim, although we want to get there, but our prime goal is survival. So if they do fall in, they know what to do.
So you saying that you're looking to have a float, to learn how to float while you're swimming, am I right?
Correct. That's one thing we try to teach them is from the get-go, we start at 3 years old up to 12, and what we try and teach them is, if they fall in and they get in trouble, to roll over on their back and float, kicking their feet or moving their hands or whatever, and teaching them how to, to relax and to breathe and float until somebody can come and get them instead of panicking and end up being, a drowning. Yeah.
I think about the ocean a lot, the beaches, how people go out on the beach and those rip currents or currents come, how the rip tides come. What is the best way to survive a rip tide?
Again, but mostly it won't be children out there. It's usually teens and adults that get into trouble because they go out really far. So you need, again, roll on your back, relax, and just don't fight it. Just go with the current, and eventually you'll, go down with the current to where it will kind of, fall out and you can swim in the shore. So usually if you just relax and don't fight against the current, but the good thing again is to roll over on your back so you can relax more instead of trying to swim and keeping your head up, float on your back and or swim on your back, whatever. But you want to just kind of, that's the biggest thing is not to panic, which is always hard to do if you're not a really good swimmer. But to just try and breathe, be calm, and then just go with the current. It'll eventually, widen out to where you'll be able to swim.
That sounds good.
Absolutely. Did you mention first aid classes or?
Yeah, so our lifeguards are lifeguard certified, meaning they, know how to rescue certain drowning persons, and so and they also are taught CPR, AED, and first aid for infants, children, and adults. So their certificate, I'm a Red Cross instructor. It's a 2-year certificate that they get, and it's classes that they have to go through.
What are some of the safety equipment that you recommend that pool owners and YMCAs and facilities have on hand?
Well, lifeguards should always be carrying a rescue tube. Throw rings if somebody gets in trouble that you can throw it to them. Shepherd's hook is what is required by a lot of health departments in certain cities.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain things that they have to have in order to get inspected and get a permit to open up the facility.
And you've been a swimming instructor for a long time, am I right?
I have.
And so you recommend everybody to go and become instructors or lifeguards on hand, even with the family home pools also, right?
Yeah, well, I recommend that they go through some safety course. I also recommend if they're not a strong swimmer to wear some kind of Coast Guard flotation device.
Absolutely.
Are regulated.
Yeah.
But what I was saying earlier is, I know money is always a big thing, and neighborhoods like, well, if we don't, because there's not strong regulations in every city that mandates having to have a lifeguard. So some of them don't, just for cost sake. But I feel that is a big mistake. I think if you're going to have a neighborhood swimming pool where there are kids, because adults don't always pay attention to their children, you should have a lifeguard on it if your pool is going to be open.
Absolutely. How can you avoid certain, health problems when swimming? I mean, do you all take care of the pools in a certain way? You have to have certain chemicals. How do you keep from things spreading and germs and things?
We test water tests every 2 hours, and it's recorded. And all the lifeguards know if they get off reading if they can contact someone. Because certain chemicals, you have to be a certain age to administer to them to the pool. So if it is, especially like chlorine, if they have to, chlorine levels are low and they have to administer chlorine, they have to be at least 18 years old. So, and most of our lifeguards are not. They're anywhere from 15 to 17. Some of them are, but so they say we just don't have them. If it's off, they know who to call to come in and fix it. So yeah, our water is tested, like I said, every 2 hours, and it's written down on a placard so everyone can see who comes into the pool, and it's also written in a book so we can kind of see if there's some kind of a pattern. It's real hard with this heat to keep it mandated. We have to usually turn up the chemical, chlorine, because it burns off so quickly.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the requirements of being a lifeguard?
Well, the biggest thing is you have to know how to swim. You'll be surprised how many sign up for the class, and there's prereqs that they have to do before they can continue in the class. And they have to be able to swim either freestyle or breaststroke, alternating, putting their head in the water. They can't like do doggy paddle, and they have to be able to swim continuously, either 100 yards or 200 yards. So 100 yards is for a shallow guard, meaning they can't guard past water of 6 feet. And then a full deep water lifeguard can do up to 14, 15 feet, but they have to swim like 200 yards.
Is there a shortage of lifeguards still? I know during the pandemic they talked about needing lifeguards. What about now?
We don't, but we start recruiting very early. We go into the high school. We go in twice. Try to go before spring break, and then we go back into the high schools after spring break and recruit. So we do have a lot of retention and referral. We do a referral bonus, so we do get a lot of referrals. And so we haven't, knock on wood, haven't been in that boat.
Yeah.
So we haven't experienced that.
Just before we let you go, does age have a difference plays a big important part in being a lifeguard? Because I'm thinking about being a lifeguard myself.
Oh my God. You can be 99 years old if you want to, as long as you can swim. But you, American Red Cross, which is what I teach you, the minimal age is 50.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. E.
I'm gonna get out there and be a lifeguard, and then I'm gonna let them know.
At least you can learn about it. At least you can learn about it.
I'm gonna let them know that Melissa gave me my certification. Miss Melissa, before we let you go, Miss Sherman, give our listening audience more information about Clearwater Management and how can they get in contact with you.
Contact information.
Well, on the email I sent you, it's got my email address. It's Clearwater Pool Management. There's abbreviated mgmt.com.
Absolutely. They can go to the website and everything and check you all out. We want to say thank you so much for being on. Thank you for educating our audience. And you have a wonderful and blessed summer, and just wish you the best in your company.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Have a great day now.
Yes, so Mr. E, fun is one thing, water is one thing,
right.
But honey, safety is another thing.
That's
and
right.
There's so many different tips and things that we need to keep in mind, when we're in the water, healthy swimming, the sun, we got to consider the sun. You can't go out there and roast all day long. It is really not good for you. Especially with temperatures that we have now, Miss Lee, it is absolutely crazy.
Now, and also, if you're going into the ocean, if you're swimming out there, the pools, at the beaches, you got to look out for bacteria. One of the questions I didn't ask Miss Sherman was, how do the beaches detect bacteria? Because there's a lot of ocean out there. There's a whole lot of ocean, and folks, some beaches shut down because the bacteria into the water, so I wanted to know, and one of the things,
they check it just like they would do a regular pool. They had shut down recently on the Hampton Roads area for a minute.
Buck Road, And one of the things she said that was so key, that a lot of people are being caught into riptides. They used to say just swim in the direction of the riptide, and then you eventually come out of it. But don't panic when you get caught up in the riptide. See, and then she's saying just relax and let it take its course, and you'll come out of it. And hey, look, so when you catch us out there swimming thinking you Jacques Cousteau, and get caught up in a riptide, make sure you know how to come out of it.
First of all, do not underestimate water.
Right.
Water is,
Even the best swimmers.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you, do not get out there and say, oh, I can handle the tides. I can handle any type of weather, storms go out there. And people think that way,
That's right.
and they end up dying or getting hurt or something, drowning because of, underestimating the power of water.
That's right.
Even with pools, there are some rules that we have, no swimming alone. Don't go out there. I have a pool. I do not get in it, and nobody's home. I will not do it, and I will not allow my grandson to get in the pool, and nobody's out there to assist. No swimming without an adult. No running. No diving head first. That's one of the rules I know
That's right.
I have for my grandson. No diving. You can jump, but no diving. No pushing, shoving, dunking, or rough play, which sometimes they want to do. Don't put a lot of glass containers or electrical appliances and devices around the pool area. That's a no-no. There are just so many rules and regulations that you have to keep in mind. Don't swim in bad weather. Don't go out there swimming just because you're in the water. You feel like, well, it's raining, but there is something called what?
That's right.
Electricity. There's something called thunderstorms and electrical storms, and so you've got to not go out there in bad weather. No breath holding games, chewing and eating in the water, things like that. These are things that you should keep in mind.
And you ought to have some rescue equipment around there also, like ring buoys and rescue tubes and rescue poles, or what they call the shepherd hook. Or the rescue can, or the throw lines, or the backboard. Some type of safety equipment should be lined up around your pool for that just in case moment. And also, if you got bad health, if you got bad heart and things of that nature, make sure that when you jump into that water, don't try to swim like you're a young cat, because sometimes you can overexert yourself and cause you to have chest pains and things of that nature, and you can go under. And so you want to be very careful. One of the things that our children has to learn, Miss Hinton, is that you cannot run around the pool.
Absolutely.
No running for just in case you slip on that pool deck and you hurt yourself.
Speaking of pool decks, there are things that's needed. You got to have safety fence. You can't have, anybody just being able to just walk in. That fence has to be a certain height. You should have safety covers. When I was building my pool, you had to have a cover on it. If you were just building a pool, you had no water in it, you better have a cover. The city is going to fine you. You better put that fence up. You got to have a non-slip pool deck, and always attend to people that are in there or around there. You should have a pool alarm. You shouldn't have cracked tiles. And like you said, you have to have those life-saving tools, and you have to balance the water. She said every 2 hours for those pools, commercial pools, those pools with a lot of people in it. I know every few days my pool has to be checked. The chemical balance has to be there. So you got to pay up. It's high maintenance.
That's right. And one of the safety devices that you need close by when you have a pool, and it's going to sound kind of crazy, you need a first aid kit. And you need that first aid kit around, and an AED. An AED, it might sound a little crazy, but an AED shocks the heart, helps the rhythm. You said water and electricity, you gotta have that, because if anything should go wrong, the first thing they're gonna look for is your first aid kit and your AED.
Yes.
So you got to have all that around.
Absolutely. Just pay attention to those that are in the pool, if they're too young, or if they like you said, sickly or whatever. You got to really watch it. I'm telling you, it's so quick. Something can happen so quick if you're not watching those that are around you, or watching children. We know so many stories of children being left alone, or it being unattended, or your back door is open and you don't know that that young child is out there and gone out there into that pool. Things
right.
that happen so quick.
That's right. So you got to be very careful, and you got to be watchful too. Don't allow your children to walk around the house while you're in the kitchen or while you're in the house. Little children walking around, jumping into the swimming pool, playing around the swimming pool, unsupervised.
Yes.
Always keep your eyes on everybody who's in your pool. Don't get too busy where you think it's okay for him to be alone, playing and swimming and in the water. Always, whether adult or a young child, make sure that you're not in your swimming pool alone. Don't go out there when nobody's not home for the just in case moment, for emergency purposes. That suddenly something could happen and you the only one there and you in the swimming pool. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Sunscreen. Make sure you have that stuff to put on the body, to keep that body from the sun. The sun is amazingly dangerous at times, the UV rays and things like that. And people don't understand that. I know a lot of African American people sometimes do not put on sunscreen and stuff, but you've got to protect your body from the sun. It has those rays that cancer causing at times. You can, develop all kind of things on the skin. Make sure you do it, in balance. Don't just stay out in the sun and lay out in the sun and just stay in the water all day long. The water is fun.
That's right.
But I'm telling you, there are some things that we should keep in mind when we're having summer fun.
And don't forget, these pool safety tips are brought to you by FYI, so you can have hot fun in the summertime. Here's another two things that Miss Hinton I want folks to understand is to always let you in your swimming pool stay away from the drains.
Mm-hmm.
Those things that's cleaning the pool, that's draining the water, filtering the water. Stay away from that. If you're a child, it could suck you in, get you caught up in it. Now, here's another thing, and I want all people to understand, whether you're male or female, don't get into the pool if your weave is not found, is not
Did
secure.
You say weave?
If that weave.
How about this? Cover up that hair
That's
stuff
right.
and the oils and
That's
all
right.
that stuff. As a matter of fact, Miss Lee, it's a good idea for you to bathe down or bathe the children down, grandchildren, with oils and all that stuff, hair and everything. Make sure they go to the bathroom and everything before getting in the pool, because like Miss Sherman said, the bacteria and things like that, you want to be healthy. This is the thing. You've got to let them, eliminate before they get in the pool, because you got people swallowing water, ingesting water, and breathing up a lot of things. You want to make sure things are as safe as possible.
Take a pledge also. Take a pool pledge. And the pool pledge is said, I'm going to be safe around the pool. Let them take a pool pledge to let them know that these are the safety rules. Show them the exits. Show them where the devices are. Show them everything to stay safe. Make sure that this time of year, because all of us say we can swim, and just because you can touch the bottom of the swimming pool with your feet, you're not swimming. You're moving your arms and flapping your arms, but you're walking on the bottom of the pool. You're not swimming. And one of the key things, Ms. Hinton, is to always have someone in that area on the pool ground that is a certified CPR on children and adults.
Absolutely. I always teach my grandson, I don't care how many times he's heard the lesson, you got to learn it every time you go in that pool. And when his friends come over, he has to teach them certain things as well. Stay safe, have fun, but I tell you what, the water is nothing to play with.
That's right.
So look, we love you. We thank you for your support. We're going to see you on Monday for Sports Talk. You all have a blessed and wonderful, wonderful weekend.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. If you'd like to be a special guest sponsor, or if you'd like to be in our crowd, or sit around, all you got to do is email us as we email you back your email, and you send it to FYIRadioshow@gmail.com, or you can call us at FYI Radio Show at 757-714-7861, or you can inbox us on Facebook, on Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WGPL 1350, Peace 95.3, WMVA 88.9, and WPCE 1400. Have a wonderful weekend, okay? Stay safe.
Well, the weekend is here. It's going to still be a hot one. I mean, talking about the sun, talking about the heat, you're going to want to get in some water. But we want to thank our special guest, Miss Melissa Sherman, and thank you for her sharing information about clear water management and their services and how we can stay safe. We've got to take this serious. It's so many little things to keep in mind when you're talking about pools or talking about the ocean and things like that. Mr. E, is one thing that we didn't mention, and that's about the ocean, is what's in the ocean.
That's right.
And the fact that people have to stay safe against sharks and all kind of
whales and fish and crabs.
Like that.
Yeah.
And so,
Starfish.
the water is nothing to play with. It's to have fun, but we gotta keep in mind we have a conscious effort. Keep a conscious effort of what we have to deal with when we're having fun in the water.
That's right. And you want to make sure that you take good care of yourself while you're in the waters. Like Ms. Hinton say, it's not a child's play. You can have fun. Learn how to play in the sand, sit in the water, swim if you know how to be a swimmer. Don't go out there too far. Don't get on them flotation devices and drift out there in the water and you can't get back in. Have fun. Don't forget, have fun, but don't get out there too far that you can't reel yourself in.
Don't underestimate the power of water. I'm trying to tell you, it is something else. It's just like fire. It's just, fire may be hot, but water is just as strong and as dangerous as it can be at times. But anyway, we hope you all have enjoyed the show. We have some upcoming shows. Mr. E Sports Talk. Look, you guys.
Right around the corner.
Look, you guys. The NBA is over, but we got the WNBA.
That's right.
We're going to be talking about the WNBA. We're going to talk about some of the NBA drafts.
That's right.
And we're going to talk about what's coming up with training for the NFL. We got a lot of stuff to talk about for sports.
That's right. We're going to talk about everything that you want to talk about. I was in the place yesterday. I had to stop by a place, and they're talking about those football teams already. Folks cannot wait to get your team. So if you're going to get a football team, make sure you get your gear that you wear on so you can represent. You can represent and be our special guest on FYI Radio Show on Monday Sports Talk.
Absolutely. FYI After Dark, around the town. Join us with Everette, community news and events. We got a lot to talk about. Of course, we're going to be doing our relationship 2025. Miss Alicia Bennett. She's going to be our special guest on our After Dark show. Hot topics. We're going to definitely get to some of those hot topics. We want you all to join us, and we want to dialogue about a lot of things that are happening in our life, in our world. There's a lot going on. Also, Wednesday, what's under the hat, issues concerning men, our Fun Friday and women issues. We definitely will have a great topic coming up this Friday for our women's issues. Please follow us on social media. Go to our pages, YouTube pages, and all pages on social media, personal page and FYI Radio Show pages. You can also be a special guest, intern, or sponsor with FYI. Mr. E's going to give you the contact information.
If you'd like to be a special guest sponsor of the most talked about radio show in the world, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861. If you want to be in our audience, email us your email at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com, and we'll email you back on the date and the time that you could be a special guest in our audience. If you see that we need to bring something to the audience attention, let us know by email us at FYI Radio Show, or call us at 757-714-7861. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10.
We want to say good morning to Miss Sheila Robbins. Mwah. I hope you're having a great summer. Also, Instagram, we have some friends here. We have Mr. Under JATIN under DEVGA143. Joined us, OTHMAN.SA, I believe LIM1 joined us. Thank you all so much. Those that I can't see, excuse me, but we love you and we thank you for your support. We want you to have a wonderful day, wonderful summer. You know, we have the 4th of July coming up. You all make sure you stay safe whatever you do. Look, we'll see you soon.
2 up, 2 down.